Okay, and now
We're
we have
live,
mics.
baby.
We're doing it.
Live.
We're live.
We're here. Coffee's here. That's what matters.
Yeah.
Coffee is here.
Coffee
Hello,
is
Coffee.
here. Hello,
Well-
How was
Coffee.
your trip?
Wait,
Oh,
where did
boy.
Coffee go?
Coffee's back in Korea.
Ooh.
Intern is
Our
also
intern
here.
is here.
Hello.
Nice.
Punctual as
Oh
Getting
no,
us
Coffee, I hope
coffee.
you're okay.
Our intern is here with the coffee. See what
Oh,
happened?
he's here with the coffee.
See what you did there.
I have to send a text message to my beautiful girlfriend to bring me a beer because I forgot I don't have any. Up here.
Wow, that's awesome. It's
Wait,
like
I thought you had a
friendly
mini
text
fridge that
message.
you could
I
get
do,
that.
but it's full of Mountain Dew right now.
It's like apartment DoorDash. That's great.
Beer
you-
me, please.
Beer me.
How's
Michael,
quarantine going for you, Coffee?
got one.
It's good to see you too, intern. We never see you.
It's
so.
always good to see. Well, but anyway, I guess I'll start it like it's the podcast. Hello and welcome to the annual 24-hour charity stream GameBrew podcast. Oh, we forgot to do the theme song. Wow, 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 wow.
That's exactly what it sounds like. Exactly.
That is.
Perfect.
Ooh,
hold
that
on.
marching baritone.
There it is. It's gonna make it. It's probably gonna
Why
be.
do you have a marching baritone in your
Yeah,
basement?
you should have
So-
a
Don't you
concert
all?
baritone. What the hell's wrong
Why
with
do
you?
you have a concert baritone in your apartment? You can't have that in an apartment.
Yes, you can. It's fine. No
This
one
guy
cares.
over here with his single family home trying to lord over us all.
Yeah, get out of here.
Look, this is the Game Brew, and we don't really have rules except the rules we have. Okay,
We don't. But this
We
is.
don't have rules except the rules we have. Well put.
That's true.
Well
Yes.
put.
But this is a bi-weekly video game podcast where we drink delicious bevs, talk about video games, and in 24 hours we will be absolutely delirious. So ask us any important questions now because they will soon not matter. We have a Chris Wrights.
Hey.
We have an Allison Van Devender.
Hello.
We have an Ian Richard. He saluted. We have.
I figured I'd use the visual medium while we have it.
You're
Yeah.
right, you're right. We have a William Shell.
Howdy, dude.
Howdy doody. And we have a Alex Ryder.
Hello. I'll try not to breathe into my mic super hard.
Oh, and I'm Dan Rotz. Hello. And tonight on our beautiful podcast, we will be picking our favorite game of the year.
It is a beautiful podcast.
It is a beautiful podcast. Well, it's full of ugly people, but it's a beautiful podcast.
What do you mean, all of us? We're
Excluding Allison. Pick your favorite game of the year. We're going to make some predictions for gaming in the next year. So, but you can't use that Microsoft will buy Activision Blizzard for $70 billion.
Damn.
So, sorry.
Really had that.
Yeah. And, yeah, we're just going to be having a lot of fun to kick off the live stream, supporting Children's Children's Miracle Network. And if you would like to donate at any point, you can go to bit.ly. Oh God. Hold on. Wait. Hold on.
Bit.ly. Oh god.
Bit.ly/oh god.
I'm
You don't
going
know
there
what's
right
there.
now.
No, hold on. I got it. It is bit.ly/GB Extra Life 22. Okay. That's bit.ly/GB Extra Life 22.
I think it sounds better if you do that like a wacky wild arm inflatable tube man flailing.
GB Extra Life 22. GB Extra Life 22. Come on down to GB Extra Life leads. Yes. But you can go there. You can donate. If you do, it's wonderful. If you don't, that's okay too. Just we enjoy hanging out with everybody. So please give if you're able. If you're not, thanks for coming and hanging out with us. So anyway, we're gonna start. Hannah hasn't responded to my text message yet.
Wow.
Anyway,
Woe is
She's like,
you.
I'm sorry, I'm not a waitress.
she's not. Hold on, I'm gonna say please real quick. Maybe that'll work.
That's okay. I had
Please?
this experience the other day where I went to go to the bathroom and there wasn't any toilet paper in there, and it wasn't like the easy kind of going to the bathroom without toilet paper. And I was texting Marianne like, "Please come help me, please, I'm begging you, please."
So you're doing a number 3?
It was not a good time for me.
Oh no.
She never came. She never came.
Oh,
no.
so did you have to do the embarrassing waddle through the house,
Or did you have an extra
no.
Game Informer magazine?
or did you
sitting
just
around the
take a
bathroom?
shower afterwards?
Yeah, I did the shower method.
Oh my gosh. I'm so glad I know that about you.
The reason that we tell that story and that Hannah still hasn't answered is because she's making cookies, which is fine. But the
Which is fine.
Fine. It's fine.
we talk about what we're drinking on this podcast. What delicious bevs are we drinking? Somebody, anybody.
Well, I'm
please.
drinking 10 Layers from RAR Brewing. It's a dessert stout.
Ooh,
Uh-huh.
a dessert stout.
Is it desserty?
It's very desserty. It's sweet, but not too sweet, and it's really good. It's called 10 Layers because on the eastern shore of Maryland, there's a thing called Smith Island cakes, and they have 10 layers, kind of like this cake here on the label.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So it's kind of a tribute to that, but it's very good. It has like a nice finish. It's not like super lingery on the back end.
There we go.
The ones that like stick your mouth together.
Yeah, like Guinness.
Yeah. Yeah, like Guinness.
Like Guinness.
That's right. That's right. Anyone else? Who's next? Who's drinking things?
I'm drinking a Dogfish Head 90-minute Imperial IPA
Ooh, nice.
because it's tasty, and
It
I
is
had
tasty.
it in my fridge.
That's a good reason. That's a good reason. Anybody else?
No.
I am not drinking alcohol because I felt sick earlier.
Oh.
We're feeling better though. But I do have Mountain Dew Uproar, so we're gonna try that.
Is this the first time you've had Uproar? Nice.
I'm not gonna lie, just seeing the top of the bottle, Allison, without the Mountain Dew showing, I thought you were drinking Pedialyte.
Look at wow.
She's here.
Look at how
Hey,
She's
with a
here.
beer.
It's got this
And chocolate
green
chipless
lion.
chocolate chip cookies also.
Hey.
Thank you, baby. Sugar.
Did you just
How
say
is it?
chocolate chipless chocolate chip cookies?
Yes.
So just like the dough part?
Yes.
All right.
So just cookies.
Just cookies, basically.
So
Allison,
is
what's
this like a nihilism thing or?
yes? No, we're out of chocolate chips and we don't want to go grocery shopping. So, what's it taste like, Allison? Give me the 411.
So it's kiwi flavored, and I didn't know how that would go because some of these have been really bad. This one's
Yeah.
actually good. It's just very sweet, which a lot of the Mountain Dews are. So I
Yeah.
think that's their staple. But
Can I
other
ask-
than
Kiwi
go.
the fruit or kiwi the animal?
kiwi the fruit,
Oh,
and strawberry.
That's good.
Definitely
it says
the
berry
animal.
kiwi. Berry
You just
kiwi. It
Take those
means
tiny little
strawberry,
birds and
right?
just squeeze.
You got to juice the birds, you know? And
I don't know
Uh,
what other berry it could mean. It just says berry kiwi, and for some reason it doesn't want to state
I guess
strawberry.
maybe it's trying to be specific that it's not bird kiwi.
Here's the thing: we have pictures of kiwis. We have no strawberries. It tastes like strawberries. I
It's
would call
right.
this
berry
strawberry kiwi,
kiwis.
but for some reason it's berry kiwi. Anyway, it's good. It's good. I dig it. This gets the Allison seal of approval, which most of the Mountain Dew flavors don't. The gingerbread
Nice.
one, holy shit, horrid. Horrid.
Horrid.
Never eat that.
I wouldn't want to ever take care of that.
I did it for the sake of stream. It was poor.
I'm so sorry. Ian, are you imbibing a beverage?
I am not drinking a beverage like any good Game Brew flunky. I'm drinking water from my Game Brew mug that Carrie made me,
Nice.
but just water.
Nice,
sorry.
nice.
But do you have this much water?
I don't. I don't have that much water. No,
Guys,
that's
you-
wise.
Guys, you know you're still at home and you can go to your sink to get water. You don't have to sit here the whole time.
But this one tells me like timing. I've been bad and haven't finished, but I have a lot of time to finish it, so it's
Oh,
fine.
good on you.
Well, that's
Good
nice.
Trying to be a hydro homie.
That's
Hydro homie.
William, do you have a beverage to imbibe, or are you a beverage-less tonight?
Ooh.
Is that rosé?
Is it scotch?
It's Estes.
It's rosé.
It's wild turkey honey.
Wild turkey
It is
honey.
Goes
like
down
drinking
smooth.
It is very sweet.
Nice. I do.
It's so good.
My dad really likes honey whiskeys and like sweet, like southern, like with Southern Comfort. He likes that kind of stuff.
Does he? So when I drink something honey, does he like get some in his mouth and then just like let it sit on his tongue and just like move it back?
No,
and
he
forth,
drinks
like,
it quick
30 seconds?
because he's a little girl who can't drink real whiskeys. So he.
Oh, I'm sorry, but girls drink
It's-
things just fine.
Okay. You're right. You're right. Then I don't know what to call him. That whatever it is, it doesn't like whiskey. But it does like sweet things. I'm drinking. I'm drinking
What
a
Hannah
beer-
brought over.
Yeah, what Hannah brought over that I asked her to bring. It's called Threat Level Midnight.
Okay.
For The Office, and it's an American stout. It's good. I found a new beer place by me that's very, very nice. So
Cool.
very American, very stout, very good.
Yeah.
What are the distinguishing factors of an American stout?
It's made in America.
It's a stout made in America.
I was really hoping someone would say freedom, but okay, that makes sense.
The key ingredient is freedom.
freedom.
Freedom
Nice.
wheat, freedom hops.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It's got
Freedom.
malty notes. It's good. It's very sweet.
Like more
This
than
one
one
has-
note.
Yes, more than one note. It's got a whole bunch of notes. It's like a
Multi-notes.
piece of music.
The first
whole-
when you Google it, the first sentence says strikingly bold and undeniably beautiful.
It is really
That's
good.
like a Tinder profile. Like, what is that?
I love the idea of replacing beer descriptions with Tinder profiles. That's great.
So would Bud Light Platinum be here to mess around and have a good time?
Well, no, it would be like, you have a good like ale or something, and it's like blonde, flirty, bubbly.
Here to party.
There you go.
Here to party. That's
Here
great.
for a good time,
Here to
not
make
for
some
a
bad
long time.
decisions.
Use the cycle.
It's the platinum slogan. Brewed for the night.
Brewed for the night. How about okay? Well, that's the part of what we're drinking.
Sure
Now we go
was.
Now we go to what we're playing.
It's also
Hey.
the Zerg
The Zerg. What?
brewed for the night.
That was
It
a
took
gamer
me.
joke.
It took me a second.
That was a gamer joke.
I was like
Gotta go
brewed.
ahead and-
Oh,
It's pretty
brewed.
deep down the rabbit hole.
Brewed.
All
Got
right.
it.
But anybody been playing anything fun recently?
I've been
That's a
actually
no.
checking out a
That's a
little
no.
bit of
No.
Persona 5.
Moving on.
Ooh.
Whoa! What, Chris? You're playing Persona 5?
Yeah.
Ooh, tell us. Go.
How?
It's interesting. It's one of the games that's free on PlayStation Plus or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Thanks Tyler for subscribing or following.
Yay!
Yay!
Yay.
Right, Persona 5. So yeah, it's a game that I installed, and it's something that like I kind of installed for me and Katie to play together. So it's been interesting. It's very much playing an anime, but I really like the acid jazz that's like the kind of soundtrack for it. I think that's one of my favorite parts for sure.
How far in are you?
Probably 5 or 6 hours. So still at the beginning.
Yeah.
It's a pretty long
Yeah.
game.
It's
Like-
very
I mean,
very long.
the music of Persona 5,
0.01%.
stellar. Stellar.
It's interesting. I'll have to look it up and listen to it because it's one of the ones I don't have too much experience with. I've heard the interface is like incredibly well designed too.
It's
Yeah,
Like,
it is.
Yeah, it's relatively accessible, but it looks cool. It's like very like, kind of like comic book splattery.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's cool.
I did not finish it, but I had a really, really good time. That was my first Persona game ever. A really fun time with it. I really should finish that.
You should.
You should.
It does. It takes a really long time to finish.
It takes a few minutes.
Yeah.
A few minutes.
Yeah,
few
like,
is an
like 2 or
understatement.
3.
Hey, and Coffee says that with Rochester following, that's our 100th follower. Everybody,
Wow.
we did it.
We made it.
We're a thing.
Retirement. Here we go.
Did it.
For some of us, you retired early.
You retired early. All right, that's cool. Will, anything? Any?
Yeah, what have you
games?
been up to? You haven't been on here in a long time.
Yeah, I was gonna
Same
say,
with Ian.
how's fatherhood?
Yeah, how's that game?
Exhausting. Really good, but exhausting.
Yeah.
Like, let me give you a quick synopsis, then I'll tell you what I've been playing and what I've been doing of my day. I sit up too late.
Mm-hmm.
I go to bed.
Mm-hmm.
Sometime between 2:30 and 3:43, I wake up to screaming.
It's oddly specific.
Go back to sleep.
Waking up to screaming is really only okay in the context of a child. Every other circumstance,
Every other
is
circumstance is terrible. Go
Yeah.
back to bed, maybe. Get up about 5 to 5:30. Go to work, come home, do it over again. So I'm like a walking zombie and exhausted at all times. But it's good. Like, being a father's great. It's really cool. I
feel-
look forward to coming home.
Whenever I hear people talking about like being a new parent, it's always like all these bad things, and then ends with, "But it's great."
You know, you don't notice that they're bad. Like, you only notice it when someone asks how you are. You're like, I'm fucking tired.
So tired.
It's good.
It's great,
So,
but I'm
other
so
than
tired.
reading through a massive backlog of comics, I am like 1,000 issues behind at this point. I've actually been playing Lunar Silver Star Story on my Retro Pi that I made.
Ooh, nice.
Favorite RPGs of all time.
I was gonna
And-
say that's like you've talked about that a bunch. I
Yeah.
remember
I
you
played
talked
it
about
so long ago that I remember the broad strokes, but not the finer details. And I gotta say, being older, because I was a kid last time I played it, I'm really getting more out of it this time. It's been a lot of fun.
that. Nice. How's the retro? So your RetroPie is set up and working the right way?
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
good.
In fact,
It's right over there.
Hey,
There it is. I see it.
Nice.
Look at that.
for the Starship Enterprise.
Nice. That's a good.
It's
Good
it's
ship
great.
for it to be
I
next to.
really, really like it.
Yeah, they're really
Super
fun.
Simple, easy to do. Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Nice. I love that. Ian.
Yes. So I have been playing. Did I talk about Outward at all before I left?
I feel like I've heard you talk about it. So
Yeah,
I
I've
can't
heard you. I think we've talked about it a little bit. Yes.
Yeah. So playing that with Marianne has been really good. Super fun, sort of like survival RPG game. It's like it's one of those games where it's great to like wander out somewhere and be like, this will be fine, and then you just like make a slightly more risky decision. Like, yeah, why not? Let's go just see what's in the bandit camp. And before soon, you're like, okay, well, we're both in prison and we don't have any stuff, so now we have to break out of prison and then get our stuff back and then get back to adventuring. Like, it's a really good like story kind of generator on its own. Super cool game. Also, just like a bunch of Fortnite, so I could wax poetic about how good the new season of Fortnite is, which is to say very good. They keep adding stuff, tornadoes,
There's tornadoes now.
Columbos.
Next
Tilted
season it'll
Towers
be
is back.
next season it'll be Sharknadoes.
I mean, probably. Honestly, I'm sure they're already thinking about it.
Yeah,
sorry.
Tilted Towers is back.
Tilted Towers just came back.
Yeah, it was
What-
frozen in ice, but now it's here.
Yes, but now it's here. And other than that, some Dark Souls 3. Been playing a lot of Dark Souls 3.
Was that because of our conversation that we had earlier this week, or were you already doing that?
I was already doing that.
Ah, okay.
I was trying to get my brother into Dark Souls 3, and
It's not a Joel game.
I think he's
That's
gone hollow.
not
It's
a good idea. He will
It's-
break so many controllers.
I was gonna say he's very much like Will. I don't know if he would enjoy a Dark Souls.
Actually, Joel and I should play that together, and y'all can.
Oh
live
yeah.
that would be like 10 minutes of you all
That'd be
playing Dark
amazing.
Souls and like 40 minutes of you all complaining about Dark Souls and drinking.
It's like I don't understand the controls.
Ooh,
They're terrible.
and actually, I also want to see them play Stardew Valley together, and Joel the whole time will be like, "This is so dumb."
Actually, I never realized that Joel and I have some weird similarities that I never really noticed until this very moment.
That's why Ian's your best friend.
I've also been playing Moonlighter on the Switch.
Nice.
So good. Such a
Which
good game.
yeah, which is a really great game. I needed a game to play while I was getting my walking miles in on the treadmill. So I set the treadmill up in front of the TV and play
And just
Moonlighter.
play
It's
while you're
awesome.
walking forward. That's nice.
That's good.
That's nice. It's like your dungeon crawling while you're literally crawling.
Or
Exactly.
selling stuff. Okay.
Or selling
Yeah.
stuff.
Oh,
That
yeah,
too.
but you can't pump the arms while you're holding it.
Yeah,
That-
that's why they come in Joy-Cons.
And you can just
Also-
put one in
Oh.
each hand.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you could do that. You could do that. I'm gonna go to me. I have been playing a bunch of Final Fantasy 14. I'm slowly leveling up. I'm questing. I'm a level like 32 paladin right now.
Nice.
So I'm big and smashy. Except my guy's kind of not big. He's kind of like lithe and
But you're
he's
smashy.
like a smashy. But yeah, it's fun. It's addictive. I really like it. It's nice whenever I have insomnia to be playing that because I can just sit at my computer and play it and just listen to podcasts or listen to the Final Fantasy music. And do that. There was something else that I was playing that I've been meaning to talk about for like the last 4 weeks, and I can't remember what it is.
Oh well.
Was it Halo?
I'll think about it
Was it
later.
Cyberpunk?
And the
It's
world will
not
never know.
not Halo because I've been playing that. Not Cyberpunk because I've also been playing that. It's not The Witcher because I've also Inscription.
Is it amazing?
It's really good. It's a mind warp, but it is Ian. You would really like it because it's like a card game. It's like a card
Yeah.
collection game, but it's a trip, dude. It's great. You would love it. I can't really tell you a lot about it without ruining the game. So just go play Inscription. You know,
All
All
right.
right.
that's it. That's all I'm gonna say. Righteous.
So, I can't remember the last time I was on, but the only thing I've been playing is Breath of the Wild
Nice.
on Switch, and I think I'm just over 100 hours, and I have all of the temples,
Mm-hmm.
and I have completed 67 of the 77 side quests.
Wow.
So I'm almost done the side quests, which I'm
That's
excited
awesome.
about. Yeah,
That is impressive.
and I'm gonna stop there. I'm not getting all those damn.
No, get the Korok seeds.
No.
Get all the Korok seeds.
All
I'm not
of-
getting the golden poo.
You got to get the golden poo, baby.
Is that what you get for getting the Korok seeds?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, the Korok seeds are basically little Korok poops.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like that's what they look like.
It's just a pile of them melded together.
Gross.
Big old pile. Oh, Korok seeds.
But yeah, so if anyone has any suggestions for the next Switch game that I should move on to,
Mm.
Dark Souls.
I mean, depending on
know.
how long that one takes you, just Breath of the Wild, whatever they're going to call it too,
well, yeah.
Or if you want
But
more of the
when is
same.
that coming out though?
this year.
Yeah, I know sometime this year, but until then, I'll
Mm.
probably be busy until then. But
If you want something that's kind of similar, there's Immortals Phoenix Rising,
Oh yeah.
which is very Breath of the Wild.
That's
interesting.
true.
Let me
That's
write that
true.
in my journal.
You have a journal?
Oh,
how
leather bound.
perfect.
Yep.
Ooh.
We're
That's so
fancy-
Alex. I love
Fancy over
that.
here. What is it called?
Immortals Phoenix Rising.
Immortals Phoenix Rising.
Immortals Phoenix
I
Rising.
believe it's an Ubi title.
Cool.
It
I've also
is.
heard one of my coworkers just started playing Hades, and he said
Hades
that's
Oh,
is
Hades
really
is
good.
great. Hades is great.
Also in the journal now.
Yeah. Yeah, put that in there. That's a good Switch game too. Like I really enjoyed that on my Switch.
The only thing I don't like about those types of games that are very like you need really precise movement is that I don't feel like I get that with the Switch controllers.
Yeah, the joysticks, because they're so stumpy, are harder to like fine tune.
Yeah.
I don't think I ever had
How
a
is
problem.
the Pro controller for the Switch? Is that
It's
decent?
better, but it's not. It is not at all on the level of like an Xbox controller, or I mean, even an Elite controller. Not even close. It's like, but it is better. It feels a little cheap. I don't like the face buttons. The edge on them is sharp. I'm like, why? Who made this design choice?
People who hate thumbs.
Obviously.
People who
definitely
hate
like
thumbs.
the controller though. It is a huge step up from just putting your Joy-Cons in that little X-wing thingy, Y-wing.
Y-wing. We're gonna be playing some Squadron.
I've had a couple sessions of Breath of the Wild
Like
over
this.
COVID, where I stopped playing after like 7 hours, and my hands are just
stuck.
like permanently
Stuck
stuck
in a-
like that for like the rest of the day.
When you've like long fingers too.
You do have long fingers. Speaking of long fingers, Allison, what have you been playing this week?
Instead of talking about what I've been playing, can I just talk again about how much I hate Ninja? Can I just go there?
Yeah,
Since
let's
it's
do it.
newsworthy?
Let's do
it.
Well,
But what if he
Yeah.
comes on
Thank
our?
you.
What if he comes on and hears that?
Well, then he should
Good.
donate money because he has
Children.
got too much.
Donate all the money for you being a piece of shit. Okay,
Yeah.
so have you guys heard the news with Ninja?
I
No,
I
I
try
don't-
not to hear.
I don't
Ninja
listen to
news.
things that happen
I
about
don't know
that
the
man.
ninja news.
Okay, so too long didn't read of the whole situation is so Jadon is a Twitch streamer who got banned this week for hate rating Pokimane. And I assume everybody knows who Pokimane is because she's
Yeah.
very a popular streamer.
Yeah.
So he told his viewers to go hate raid her and said follow her because she turned her chat very quickly when they came in, and they were all spamming like L plus ratio, which is basically them saying she's overhyped and doesn't deserve it. So they were just spamming her chat. So she put it into follower mode. So he then told them to all follow her so that they could do it again. And like he's has this like history of like really saying hateful things about her on Twitter. He's on his stream like calling people slurs, telling them to kill themselves. Like he deserved this ban. Let me be very clear, right?
Yeah.
Gross.
It's very
Is it a
gross.
permaban?
And it's a permaban as far as everyone knows.
Wow.
Twitch does have the right to revoke it, I guess, but at least now it's perma.
Yeah, but they're not afraid to leave stuff. I mean, they'll ban you. They don't care how much money you bring in. They will ban
Right.
you and leave it.
Right. So he's made like really sexual comments about her and told all of her followers, like, if you have a penis and you're in this chat, she's not going to sleep with you. Get over it. Like those kinds of things. Like these are the things that as a female streamer and like the LGBTQ plus community, the hate raids that have been happening are really horrid. And to see somebody who had some power in Twitch, not a lot, but he had a followership, right?
Yeah.
To see somebody taking it and doing this so blatantly is sick. Like, this is
ridiculous.
the stuff that makes me scared to stream, right? So what happened was Jadon went into Ninja stream, which he's not streaming on Twitch anymore, right?
Mm-hmm.
But he went into his stream and said, dude, I need you to contact your Twitch contacts and just ask them to have a conversation with me and unban me. I don't deserve this. I blah, 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 blah. Anyway, so he was asking this on live stream. And Ninja goes, dude, I don't even really have many contacts over there anymore. He's like, the best I could do was contact my liaison that I had at Twitch and see if they'll do anything. And John's like, yeah, please, please. And so on stream, he grabs his phone and goes, look, I just texted them. I gave him your information. And so that was Ninja, like, taking a stance to support this other streamer who did this horrible thing, right? So Pokimane was sent that clip on her stream, watched it live, and said, this is sick. Like, this is what's wrong with the community. He deserved this ban. I can't believe that Ninja would do that. So Ninja then, rightfully so, is getting disrespected for taking this stance and supporting this horrible human being who was banned and was rightfully banned. So he ends up texting DMing on Twitter, DMing Pokimane. And he said, "Hey, so I just want you to know, I swear on my grandfather's life who just passed away, I didn't text my Twitch rep." So he's claiming that he lied on camera and said he did it when he didn't. But the facts are he did it on camera, right? It was more showing the support that was the biggest problem. And then he added, "And you're making a big mistake." So he was basically threatening her with his power and influence. And so his wife also, Ninja's wife, also tweeted Pokimane and said, "We're considering everything a defamation of character at this point, and we're getting our legal team involved. You are spewing lies to tens of thousands of people. You know Twitch, you claim to know his rep, and you know from that Tyler never reached out to anyone. And again, just said that to stop the harassment in his chat from Jadon's viewers. We have clarified everything to you. You're actively bringing harassment to Tyler. And right now, at the highest level, we're taking this very seriously." So they're now threatening to sue Pokimane for defamation of character when all she did was call out what he did.
Yeah.
So now it's a whole big thing. Ninja sucks. There's lots of people who are finally on board with that, but he's always sucked. Like
that's what I was gonna say. Is like
he's always sucked.
I remember the first thing that I ever heard about Ninja was like something about he like can't stream with female gamers because he's like afraid that they're gonna fall in love with him or some asinine juvenile
something ridiculous.
My last Ninja rant was about that
masculinity bullshit, but that was in like 2015 or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, it's been his entire time. He's threatened by female gamers in a way that he believes that they can't sit at his table. Period. And
that's ridiculous.
Being such a big streamer and such a big influence on children and their mindset about things, it's horrible that's what he uses his platform for.
That, and then like in addition to that, like I feel like there's been a lot of collaboration between Ninja and not just Twitch, but like other gaming, like Fortnite. Yeah,
he was on Masked Singer. He
like this is not a role model you want for your children.
He's never been that. Also, we just got a $50 donation from.
Thanks, paparazzi.
Yeah, thanks,
paparazzi.
Favorite Game Brew Daddy, sans mine.
He is the best. It really is the best. We stand dad in this Game Brew Dad in this house.
We stand. We do.
Alex, you had something?
No, that was what I was going to say.
Oh, okay.
Gotcha.
Dan stole my thunder.
I stole the thunder. I take all the thunder, and I take it. I mean, I've seen what, like, I watched something where it's like, it was Ninja. I haven't looked at Ninja, and then something popped up on like Snapchat or something like that, and I was like, he does not look well. Like, I look at him, and I'm just like, he does not look like good. He looks very bad.
Maybe he
in
needs
like a health, like sort of way.
Maybe he needs to like go outside.
Yeah, maybe go outside. Stop playing video games for a little bit. Listen, we love video games.
You need to play video games with girls. I hear it's good for your health.
It really is.
No, they're just gonna fall in love with them.
Oh no! How can I resist? I best never shall I ever play with Ninja. I will fall in love immediately.
Swoon.
Yeah,
Swoon.
but that guy sucks. We don't like him, and no one should follow him. He's terrible. But
I don't know if you guys realized that. I'm so sorry. I just needed to get it out, and I
needed to get it out.
And thank you.
Anything you've been playing, Allison, at all? Anything like that?
Nope.
Nothing that's important.
She's
just been raging against Ninja.
Just raging against the machine. Great. Well, I think it's time for us to change gears. Hold on a second.
Of war.
Whittle Scoops.
Oh my God!
Everybody to know that it's time.
What did we do?
I hate Little Scoops.
It's time for us to go into the first topic that we're going to talk about. That's why I'm here, Whittle Scoops.
I have a question. Who's worse, Little Scoops or Ninja?
Okay, never mind.
Ninja's definitely worse.
Ninja's worse, but probably
Ninja's
kind of.
worse, but Little Scoops is so adorable, though.
Yeah. Adorable's a word.
Get out of here, Little Scoops. You get out of here. You get out of here.
Thank God Satan's back.
Oh God. Hold on. I can't stop I messed the thing up and now hold on. Okay. And
Yeah, Satan,
No,
were you
I'm
calling
back.
yourself? Oh, okay. Oh.
Here we go. I'm back. Satan's gone. So we're going to talk about what everyone's game of the year is. Now, everybody remembers the rules for this. If you've listened to our podcast over the last 5 years,
We have rules.
you know the rules. There are no rules. It doesn't matter if it's a game that came out this year. It doesn't matter if it's a game that came out 17 years ago. Whatever the game that you think is your game of the year. What was the game of the year for Joey Bag of Donuts in 2021?
Joey Bag of Donuts.
I'm sorry, Joseph Bag of Donuts. It's his formal name.
Is that the name that's real name of Johnny Two Hammers?
No. Johnny Two Hammers is a different guy.
That's got to be like his cousin or something.
Yeah, it's his cousin or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's so does anyone want to volunteer to go first with what their game of the year was this year?
I would yeah, okay, go.
Allison,
I'm
go.
I'm nervous.
Yeah.
I'm so ready.
Peanuts.
It Takes Two
Nice.
for me.
Oh, okay. All right.
Definitely my game of the year. I had the most fun with that game. I couldn't put it down, and I can't say that about a lot of things because I have gaming ADHD, I think. And I never finish games, and we all know this about me. I will lose that contest every year if we do it. But I had to finish that game, and it was awesome. Gameplay was great. I've talked about it before. I won't go too in depth with it, but it was also something that was 2-player in a very fun and unique way, which made the game experience even more amazing for me because I got to play it with Carrie. So
Nice. That's great. I love that. I love that reasoning. Also, following party lines that it was also Game of the Year at the Video Game Awards, right?
true.
So
I rarely agree with critics. But
I know, but this time you did.
That one game of the year.
Yeah.
Not that I disagree, but I feel like the reviews were pretty controversial when it came out. Like it wasn't
for It Takes Two.
Yeah,
I don't think so.
I think that there were some people who didn't like it and they shouted really loud, but in general, I think the Vox Machina or whatever it is, whatever that Vox Populi, that's what it is. Vox Machina is Critical Role.
That's about to say that's Critical Role.
That's in 7 days you can watch the series on Amazon Prime. I'm not getting paid any money for that. But
we also don't happen to be on something that's owned by Amazon as well, so who knows?
I mean, come on, who knows? But yeah, Vox Populi, everyone was like, this is a great game. I don't know why anyone would be bad about it, but yeah, game of the year, baby. Game
Very
of
cool.
the year.
I still need to play it. I really liked A Way Out, so I need to check.
Hannah and I are in the process of playing it right now. Slowly.
Does it take two?
It does. You can't really do it by yourself. It takes two.
All right.
Speaking of Will, do you have a game of the year?
Yeah, my game of the year is actually an old game of the year. As a matter of fact, I think I picked it as a game of the year years ago. I picked it up and started playing it again a while, and I played it on and off. I still have not finished it, and I've played it for months now.
So the suspense is killing me.
I know.
Give us one more unnecessary detail. What color is the cover?
Or start eating something.
What's your ice cream?
Colors. I don't know how. There some game covers have lots of colors. This one has the most colors.
Is it Katamari Damacy?
There are no game colors that have as many colors as this game. It's actually Spider-Man.
Oh.
PS4.
Nice.
The one for PS2 or PS4?
PS4.
Yeah, Spider-Man 2, the video game, right?
Yeah, totally. No, and it's, man, I knew it was good, but it's one of those things I had forgotten how much fun that game is. That is one of the few games where the traversal through the environment is just flat out. It's just a good time. Like in driving games, I get bored. I don't know. I get bored of going from A to B in most games, but in that one, just web swinging through the city is so much fun, and it never gets old the whole way through. It's really, really fun, and just a really well done game. I'm having a blast with it. I'm going through it incredibly slowly because I don't have a lot of time, but yeah, man, it's so good. If you haven't played it, you need to, and then a few years from now, pick it up and play it again.
I mean, like people play it all the time, and they had just like the remaster that was released on PS5, and then there's the Miles Morales Spider-Man game, and it's just there's so much good stuff, and everyone really likes it, and I really liked it too. Good choice, I think. I'm gonna say.
And I think I'm at that. I think I've reached the stage of dadhood, which apparently is very early onset for me.
Early onset dadhood.
Where I think
Oh no!
Where I think about back in my day.
Back in my
started
day.
for me, you know, because it's like back in my day, Spider-Man is freaking awesome. So I'm playing Spider-Man and old stuff, and I find myself
It was
continually
amazing.
interested in older things more than the new games coming out.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Nostalgia.
You're getting old, my friend.
Nostalgia.
Nostalgia.
Back
I
in
say
there.
I say nostalgia, but
I say nostalgia.
Nostalgia.
That's
I wanted to say the
nostalgia.
word, but it's so close to my heart. So I get that and what you're saying. It's always been there for me, but the older I get, the even more important those things are when I'm thinking about games. I think.
Yeah, it's like new stuff. No, let me show you.
I still do new stuff, but I will replay a game and have just as much fun as I would with a new game.
I want, as George gets older, I have this plan. He's going to progress through NES with like a USB NES controller.
Mm-hmm.
Then he's going to Super Nintendo, Sega, and so like he's going to learn to play his video games before he plays his video games.
He's got to earn it. So does he have to
Yeah.
Does he have to beat the Lion King before he can play N64?
Oh my god!
Yeah,
Aladdin
Make it
SNES.
through Aladdin.
Oh
yeah.
no!
Paperboy.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles original Nintendo Entertainment System.
Oh god, that was so fun.
That game is ridiculous.
That water
Game is ridiculous.
It's bananas.
This game is bananas.
Stop.
B-A-N.
Ban. We've
Ban.
banned.
We've banned it.
Bananas.
Bananas. Ian, what's your game of the year for this year?
I've been hemming and hawing about this a little bit. There are so many good games that I played this year and really enjoyed. Many of them are games that I've been enjoying for some time, so none of them count, right? Like I'm not gonna plop Rocket League down on this and say
Game
job
of the
accomplished, 2021 Game of the Year, because you know what? It fucking wasn't. It wasn't. But then I remembered that Valheim actually released in 2021.
It did. You're right.
And I had so much fun with Valheim. That game was and continues to be incredible. They haven't added a lot of content, obviously, recently, except for the Hearth and Home update, which was meaningful but not life-changing. But still, the amount and the quality of gameplay that are on that early release title is just fucking incredible. And I think I was very lucky to have that game, in the darker days of the pandemic stuff. So, yeah.
I was gonna say I would argue that your game of the year might be Gloomhaven.
Board game wise, yes. Video game wise, I'm not so keen on it.
But I was just saying as a game.
Oh, as a game. Yeah, I mean, Gloomhaven was really good. Gloomhaven's tough to blanket recommend though, because you got to set aside time. You got to have people who are either willing to learn or have played similar games before, because it's fairly complex. And so it's a little bit of it's a big investment in terms of patience and time.
Yeah. No,
It's good.
I liked it a lot, yeah.
And the digital version is very good as well. That was actually one thing that I should have brought up earlier. You're right, Chris. Because we've been playing it a bit, but it's tough to find the right group, tough to find the right cadence. The game is really difficult, so you just have to be willing to like go in and fail and not get anything for an hour and a half of work, which sometimes can be a little bit of a big ask.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway,
Is that everybody?
Yeah, Valheim.
Alex, did you say your game of the year?
I did not. But
I thought we were
think you
missing
all
someone.
know what it is.
And me, I haven't gone yet.
Breath of the Wild?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh.
It's a new game.
Tony Hawk Pro Skater.
Never heard of
Well,
it.
and
Yeah,
you
every
only got
year is Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2.
Yeah, every year.
Every year.
single
you
year.
only got
Yep.
your Switch back in like August, right?
August, yeah.
So you've really been like on it.
Doing work.
It's
Yeah.
just that, yeah. Yeah, like I said, I think I checked the other day. It's just over 100 hours.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So it's. I know that we've talked about this a lot, and everyone talks about it, but it's incredible how immersive and seamless it is, with the environment, with the music, with the sounds. It's and it doesn't. I don't know of a single sound in the game that like pisses me off. Like everything I hear in that game is just, it's so happy and pleasing, and I can just listen to that game all day.
It is a very pleasant. Anytime there's music, it's pleasant. Even in the environment sounds are really nice too.
Yeah.
So it's very good from a
It's a
sound
very
design
orally
standpoint.
satisfying game.
Yeah, that's true.
Orally.
I get mad about the like making bad food, but I love the sound of
Yes.
making food in that game.
They did. It's incredible that they were able to go to a black screen and just make those sounds, and it's so iconic. It's incredible.
Yeah.
It's great. I love it.
You could have done better, but they
Yep.
did pretty good.
They did pretty good.
No, I could not do better than that.
For not being
They're
Alex
pretty
Rider,
good.
they did pretty good.
They did pretty
Thanks,
good.
Will. Thank you, Will.
My game of the year is board games.
Just board games.
Board
in
game.
general. No, yeah, because just like in general board games, because like it's a year whenever like for me, Hannah and I moved in together in October. My nieces are like old enough that they like to play games and board games. They like to play video games, but it's fun to like play board games with them and card games and stuff like that. It's just we've discovered so many like 2-player board games that we like. I taught Hannah how to play chess. We've started playing Villainous.
Villainous. What is Villainous?
Villainous is a game that is basically you play a Disney villain. We have the Disney version. There's 2 versions. There's a Marvel version and there's a Disney version. We have the Disney version where you are a Disney villain and you have like a set of goals that you have to complete by like taking a turn
Burninate
drawing
the
cards.
peasants.
Burninate the countryside.
Poison the princess.
Yeah, all that kind of stuff. But then
what villains do you like to play as?
I like playing as King Richard from the animated from the animated Robin Hood feature film.
Yep.
Let's see. And then also Unmatched is really fun, which is where you play a bunch of like historical like fiction characters who fight each other and try and beat them out.
So like George Washington versus
there's some expansions. Basically the version that we have is you could be either King Arthur, Alice from Alice in Wonderland, Sinbad the Sailor, or Medusa.
Okay, I see.
There's also a Jet Li expansion that you can get. There's
Jet Li's
one
a real person.
That's true. There's also one that you can get that is the Indominus Rex and the Velociraptors from Jurassic Park.
Oh my god!
There's this Cobble and Fog that's Invisible Man, Jekyll and Hyde, Dracula, and Sherlock Holmes.
I think that's one that's coming out soon. I'm not sure if that one's out yet.
Okay, well, also wait. So how does
it's
this game
basically Villainous but with.
No, because Villainous is like a card game. This is actually like there's a board and you move around.
Well, but I mean,
each
like,
turn.
it's similar in that like you're playing characters from different things, and like they have expansions. I assume that you can kind of mix and match.
Yes, you can do that. It's different in that in Villainous, you're trying to achieve your goal, and the other players, either 1 or 2 or 3, are trying to stop you from achieving that goal while also achieving theirs. Unmatched is literally about beating the crap out of other things. Like it's literally
kind of like what's that game where you try to say like, oh, this person would beat up this person?
Super Fight.
Super Fight.
Oh,
Super Fight. Yeah.
That's cool. I like that.
Yeah. What up? I like that Mofog and Rob just came in and said, "What up, naked peoples?"
What up?
And that
just
was
assumed. Well, he's naked, so he's just assuming everyone else is.
Everyone else is naked.
I
He
get
can
it.
see us.
I get it.
We're not naked. We're
Naked
not.
from the waist down. Because
I mean,
of
we
the game
could be.
brew.
It's
No
true.
Chat.
No pants.
No pants.
I want to do a couple little shout outs to in the chat.
Yes, please do.
listeners. One their games of the year. So Kuafi
yeah.
said Hades. He put so many hours into it, and I haven't
Yeah.
gotten tired. Getting somewhat close to the actual end, but not 100% there yet.
Nice.
Intern said, if you haven't played Darkest Dungeon, it's super good.
Ugh.
Probably my game of the year.
A 2 or 1?
Yes.
I think he played
don't-
both.
I
That game
no.
depressed
I'm
me
just gonna.
entirely too much.
Yeah, straight no from me.
Oh, Darkest Dungeon was so good. I'm on board, Fee.
That's
Absolutely.
Absolute
That's a no from
fly.
me, dog.
No,
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
I read it the wrong time the first time, fixed it, and then I still said it
I
wrong.
love that name though. That's a great name.
It is.
Said that it was Final Fantasy 14.
14.
Was their game of the year, and like their recurring game of the year. So yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
Does anyone want to hear my game of the year?
I thought you already did yours.
Warhammer?
I'm so sorry.
It's probably Warhammer.
No,
Just
just
my-
like you, I'm not going to rehash the things that. Though I can tell you what it's going to be this year.
Warhammer.
Warhammer 3.
Warhammer,
Warhammer
yeah.
3. This year, I really liked Control.
Oh, yeah.
Control was really fucking good. The other one that really kind of captured me for a while was Hearts of Iron 4.
Yeah. You played that for a little bit.
Yeah, I got pretty deep into that for a while. What did I play Control on?
Yeah.
PC because it was free on Epic during the winter or during
On
near
PC,
Christmas.
it was a good experience. I tried playing it on the PS4 back when I had PS Now when it was on there. It was just, it was janky.
Yeah.
I could definitely see that because, I mean, it pushed pretty hard on PC too.
You should see if... Oh, sorry.
I've talked about how I tried to play it on Xbox. It would crash it every hour that I was playing it. So don't
You should
do
see
that.
if you could get it to run on your cabinet, Chris.
He's contemplating it. You could see in his head he was just contemplating it.
I mean,
He was like, huh.
It's got an i7 and a GTX 750 Ti, so maybe at like the lowest settings. I don't know.
You can get it to work. You can
Probably get it to work.
Nice.
Intern clarified Darkest Dungeon 1.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely classic. I loved that game.
It's okay to be wrong. Great. Cool. Did I skip anyone aside from Chris? We all said our game of the year. Was there anyone else that we were talking about in Hannah sighting?
What's Hannah's game of the year?
Hannah, what's your game of the year, babe?
Oh, great question.
Hey, babe.
What?
What do you think it is?
Oh, I think
sure.
it's whatever this little game she's playing on her phone right now.
Is it
that she
Wordle?
spends. It's not Wordle. I like Wordle. What is it called, babe?
Wordle word.
Oh, it's called Jewel Mania.
It's called Jewel Mania, and it's a little
Kissing.
mobile game. I literally can't get her to stop playing it.
Is it like?
But it's
one of
funny.
those
We'll be
just
sitting on.
like you like line 3 things up and it.
Yeah. It's like Bejeweled, but different.
But more manic.
There's a little dog in it, is what she said, and that's really what spoke to her. But also, like, we'll be sitting on the couch, she'll be playing the game. We'll be lying and she'll be playing the game. It's like we'll go out and be waiting for something, or we'll be in the car, and she'll be playing the game. She's never not playing the game.
Yeah.
I just lost the game, by the way. I'm sorry, everybody.
Is it kind of like Super Puzzle Fighter 2?
Yeah. It's that same like type of game. Like it's line them up, match them sort of thing.
Nice. Super Puzzle Fighter is pretty great.
I do like Super Puzzle Fighter.
Katie and I always try to play it at MagFest every year.
Did you do it this year?
Uh-huh.
Nice.
Oh, did they have the ice cold beer cabinet?
They did, and they had a competition. You missed it.
And I didn't win it.
You're rusty at that at this point.
I bet I am incredibly rusty at that.
I was gonna, because you were so good at it
man.
because there was a place in California that you would go to that had an ice cold beer.
That I
cabinet.
could go play. I haven't really looked that hard, but I have been able to find one.
You're probably more of like a lukewarm beer player right now.
Ian, Ian, I'm not gonna lie. After MagFest, last one we were all at 2019.
That was actually 2020.
2020. I did.
Right before everything hit
I
the
kept
fan.
an eye out for like 3 or 4 months.
Yeah.
For a cabinet for you, because I will 100% pitch in.
I would
to get you an ice cold beer cabinet. I will even rent a truck and drive anywhere where we could get one.
I mean, that would just be my dream, but like you can't get them.
Yeah, it's hard. It's like an out of print.
It amazes me that is like
It's popular and
super
crazy.
popular.
And,
Alex, you should make one.
You would never expect it walking by unless you
might be able to make one. Alex is probably the craftiest of us.
I've looked into it. Even that is a that's a thing. There's one in Cleveland for $1,700.
That's not bad.
No, it's cheap for one.
Yeah, probably in disrepair.
Well, nope, no longer for sale.
Oh,
no longer. Oh, sorry. Sorry. You know, there's like a little pinball place that's close to me. I'm gonna go see if they have one. I haven't been there yet.
I haven't. I need to see if Crabtown, USA has one too.
Do they have crabs?
It's Maryland. What do you want it to be called? I'm sorry.
I don't know. Just like if there are no crabs at Crabtown, USA,
there's crabs at Crabtown, USA.
Okay, thank God.
Probably both kinds.
Thank God. I was worried. Okay, well, I think the only thing that we have to talk about in the podcast left is predictions that we have for gaming in the coming year. So this year that is coming. I mean, we could take a little break if we want.
No.
Have a little. You need to pee? Anybody need to pee? This is normally where we would take a break in the podcast.
Come on.
Okay,
keep
sorry.
going. We have 23 more hours of this. We're fine.
Honestly, yeah.
We'll take our own pee breaks. We're good. Let's go.
And we're all gonna drink a beer every half hour for the next 24 hours.
I did that. I basically did that one year.
That was
not doing that this year.
Yeah, that was a mistake.
I did a great job. I don't know what you're talking about.
9 o'clock.
Motherfucking Rob said no break.
No
yeah,
break.
he just got here. The party just started. He doesn't know what
the party
we were
starts.
talking about. Let's go. Let's go.
When Rob walks in. So we need to talk about predictions for the coming year in video games. So, Chris, do you have do you have like the stuff from last time that we said? Our predictions from last year.
Oh my gosh.
It was just two of you last time on the episode.
It was.
Yes.
Ian and Chris only. So there wasn't a lot there. So I didn't know if we wanted to go over it.
No. We had more predictions.
You ready? No, that was it.
No,
that
they're
was
off
all
to
that
the
was in
side.
script.
They're off to the side.
They're off to the side.
I thought that was it. I was like, okay, I guess that was all.
All right.
Yeah. So I think we went through this on the one of the last episodes.
We did.
Me and Dan. But let's do it again.
Yeah, you can skip this. If you listen to the last episode, skip like the next 2 minutes.
Probably 2 hours.
But we're live.
But if you're live, then just go to the
If you're
back.
live, suck it up. Listen to it again. We'll make it funny this time. Chris, make it funny. I don't know.
Hit the funny button.
Okay, Ian predicts the PS5 will be hurt by a high asking price and won't sell nearly as well as the new Xbox Series X/S. Oh no, this is from the year before.
No, go farther down.
Yep.
Skip says he went too far.
Shut up,
I mean, I was still right though.
No, you weren't. PS5 sold great. Halo Infinite is going to be a mess. No, that was not correct.
Oh, did I predict that?
Yeah, you
You did. Yeah.
Oh boy, I was wrong.
Tencent will purchase a controlling stake in Epic.
I don't think that happened.
No. Ooh. I don't think so.
Gaming streaming service will be bundled. Netflix plus Stadia, anyone.
Oh god! Remember Stadia? Remember when Stadia was like
It's
coming
still
back?
there. It's still there.
Like I still like this idea, but nope, did not come to pass.
Hold on, I'm
Netflix
I
is
don't
doing their mobile gaming thing, supposedly.
It's not bundled though.
I'm kind
Is
of
it not
confused
included?
by the 10-cent Epic thing. What is?
Well, 'cause-
what was your prediction?
I apparently I thought that Epic was going to get purchased by Tencent.
The CEO of Tencent already owns 40% of Epic.
It's not, but that's not
I must have
controlling.
meant-
It's not a
though.
controlling interest.
Yeah, that's what I must.
So
have
that
meant.
you meant that they were going to get the controlling.
Yeah.
interest.
Yeah.
We're
Okay.
gonna get
In that case,
another-
no, it has not changed since 2012.
Hold on.
Continue.
Okay.
Wait.
Okay.
They need another 11%.
Absolutely. What was wrong? Sorry.
It's going to be a little bit because of the delay.
Oh.
Apparently, you're the coolest.
We all
We
are the
all
coolest.
the coolest.
Aw.
When did someone say that we weren't the coolest?
Who said it?
Who
We
said?
don't we'll fight them.
Call them out in the chat. Point at them with your fingers.
Ian was excited about Deathloop and Diablo 4,
Okay. Well,
although he bet that it didn't release until 2022. Did you play Deathloop?
I didn't play Deathloop, but I heard it was great.
All right.
People say it was
Okay,
great.
half
yes.
point for you, I guess.
I mean,
And then your game of the year was going to be Risk of Rain 2.
I mean, yeah, it was Risk of Rain 2. That's right.
Yep,
Risk
totally
of Rain 2
was.
great.
I said that we're going to see a string of mediocrity / poorly polished games in the next few months. I said I was going to finally get my hands on a Ryzen 5900X, and that AMD CPUs will reach 30% install base on Steam Survey. I haven't checked Steam Survey in a little bit, but I did not get a 5900X. I actually got an Intel PC or Intel CPU because they were dirt cheap and it was awesome. Hardware will finally catch up to demand by the summer.
Would that it had.
Games that I was excited for. Neither of these games came out. Warhammer 40k Darktide, which was basically 40k Vermintide, and Hogwarts Legacy looked cool. That should come out this year, I think. So those...
Hey guys, we got another donation that we forgot that we didn't
Whoa.
call out here. And it looks like it is from, because it was to Chris, and I can't see it unless I go.
Trevor C, I think.
Trevor C. Thank you,
you.
Trevor.
Thank you, Trevor.
Thank you, Trevor.
Thanks for giving us that gift to give to someone else.
Yes.
Exactly.
You're
Thanks
giving the
for
gift to
your
somebody
donation.
else.
To the
We're
We are just
children.
here.
We're the regifters.
That should be
We're
our team name.
regifting. The regifters.
The
Whap, whap,
GameBrew
whap, whap.
regifters.
I was correct about processors on Steam surveys, though. AMD has a 30.38% share as of December 2021.
Nice.
Yay.
Way to go.
Nerd.
Dan, I don't think Halo Infinite will be good and everyone will be mad, or it won't be out at all.
I was wrong.
You were wrong.
I was very wrong.
You guys were hating on Halo pretty hard.
Halo Infinite turned out to be good, but
Like-
people still hated it.
We were ready to be disappointed by this long wait and what we have as our expectations for things.
Surprise, the big disappointment was Battlefield.
Yeah.
Elden Ring will come out and slap. Elden Ring's coming out next month.
And it will slap.
It will slap.
And it will slap.
Dan was going to help his dad build a PC.
I did not because
But somehow you
it's
now have
expensive.
two.
One is for Hannah, though. So
Sounds like Hannah got promoted. I love it.
Priorities. And then you were looking forward to Resident Evil Village, which came out and was great.
it was great. I was really happy about that.
That was the one with Lady Dimitrescu, right?
Yes, it was.
Stomp on Me big lady.
Step on me, mummy, vampire mummy.
That's right.
Step on my face, please. Thank you.
Alex said all about subscription services, possibly the first streaming and gaming collab company, the online blockbuster. Yeah.
There was an online blockbuster that was called GameFly.
GameFly. Yeah, so that was already a thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey guys, Pip is playing Conan Exiles, if anybody was wondering. But just wanted to it popped up on my thing. Can you donate to people other than Chris or Dan? No, because none of them didn't set up their things. If you want to give them like 10 seconds to set up, I put the thing in the say. I said, "Hey, here's the link to the."
Hold on, absolutely.
We told people to do this. I told people to do this yesterday.
I know,
and I was
actually
ignored.
Didn't see it. I thought it was the same team, so I just thought it would automatically add me. But
it doesn't. You can't have the same team. You have to have a new one.
We'll argue about that later. I think we have the same team for 2 years, but
don't worry about it. I had to re-sign up.
All I know is I tried and it wouldn't let me, and I think it was because it was 2 years. Technically, it was like we missed 2 years in a row because we didn't do it in 2021. You know, like we did. It's 2022 now when we're doing it. The last one we did was in 2020, so it didn't roll over.
Oh, we didn't. What? Okay.
Because we're doing this late.
Yeah, late.
Anyway, go on.
Early.
Are there any other predictions?
Yep, VR will struggle to be huge and still moving in the right direction, but not competitive with consoles. Yep, still struggling. Yeah, there wasn't really anything big this year that I can remember.
No, nothing huge. I mean,
there wasn't
Apple
a Beat
right
Saber
now,
or Half-Life, Alex. Or
no. I think Apple joining the VR market is probably the next big hotness, and we'll see how that goes.
VR or AR?
I am so
VR.
freaking skeptical about this whole VR stuff. I don't think it's gonna last.
It's cool.
Metaverse? With the metaverse becoming a thing now, you don't think it'll last?
I think augmented reality. I don't think virtual reality.
Wait, why?
That's right.
Huh?
Why?
Because I think that something along the lines of Google Glass is much more likely to catch on in the mainstream. I think that VR is still such a niche market. And I think that I don't think it's like people having 5.1 surround setups in their living room. I think it's gonna be the same type of thing. I think most people still listen to everything in stereo, not in 5.1. But
wait, what? People don't all have 5.1 surround sound?
No,
we don't. I just have a TV. The sound comes out of it.
But
I listen to it.
It could be so much better.
It could, but also I have a dog who freaks out anytime there's a doorbell sound. So I can't do that.
Alex on this. AR is practical and has a practical application outside of an empty room in your house or apartment that you probably don't have to do VR stuff.
Now, audio-wise, I do think that the whole spatial audio is the next step that I think is going to catch on more, especially with more people having like Spotify and Apple will play Atmos files now, Atmos masters, and it decodes it down to a binaural stereo mix. So when you listen in headphones, it is like you're listening to like 20 speakers around you, and so I think that the audio side of things is going to advance a little bit, which is great because listening in stereo has been a thing since the 60s, and although the technology hasn't changed that much for the past 100 years. And so I think that it's about time that there's an evolution in how audio is perceived and mixed and delivered. But I don't think that VR is going to catch on. I think it's still going to be gimmicky and and I think there's going to be a market for it, just not mainstream.
I can see that.
Interesting.
Which is, if you go back 2 years, not what I thought.
Is that your prediction for this year?
Huh?
Is that your prediction for this year, or just something you're putting out there?
That is just something I'm throwing into the ethers.
Got it.
Oh,
Just
also,
wanted to make sure.
Alex, you said sorry to have a nerd moment, and I wanted to say your life is a nerd moment.
This
so
is true.
Sorry. I just wanted to make sure I got that insult.
Absolutely, definitely called me out and saying, or she called you guys out for getting me onto audio stuff.
You got yourself onto audio stuff.
You did that yourself.
Love it.
You did that because you were like, it's like this. It's like this thing that I know stuff about.
I don't know anything else.
You also you have two more things. You also said that IPOs in marketing and gaming will have a massive increase.
I don't think that really happened. No. I still think that there could maybe not this upcoming year, but I think that I think the power of gaming is being realized by people with money.
Like Microsoft.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
And
Sorry, that was the power of gaming. I don't know.
If it was a red lightsaber, Dan, that would have been much more fitting for the moment.
The rechargeable battery in my red lightsaber is not working at the moment, so I have to get a new one.
All right.
Not lightsaber, battery. New battery.
Everyone listening, I now have my extra life account.
Mine's up too, so.
Also, Rob said that he would give a donation to whoever does the best Scottish accent. So we're going to start with.
Can you? What's the phrase that you say to get yourself into a Scottish accent?
Oh, to get yourself into a Scottish accent, you say "great day."
Great day. Okay.
Great day.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. But we're all going to say the same phrase. What phrase should we say in Scottish?
All right. Something about a loch. We should talk about a loch.
Probably haggis
on the ground.
So we should say.
That's good.
I threw my haggis in the lake. You right.
Shite.
You shite donkey's ass.
Okay, can you type that?
Yeah, can you type that out?
Okay, here we go.
Don't you have some good phrases from like your high school track coach or something?
Was your high school track coach Scottish?
No, my middle school soccer coach was Scottish. And he used to say, my grandmother runs faster than you and she's been dead for 30 fucking years.
That's hilarious.
That was great. That was great.
It's great.
It's inspiring to you.
It was great. It was great. We'll say you threw my haggis into the loch. You right horse's ass.
You shite horse's ass.
You shite horse's ass.
Yeah.
Hold on. I'm typing it so you can read it. There you go.
All right. Who's going first?
We're going to go with Ian first since he's warmed up.
You threw my haggis into the loch, you shite horse ass. Arse. It did say arse.
Horses. It did horses.
Oh, you messed it up.
I'm sorry. That was my fault. I mistyped it. It was not sabotage.
It was sabotage.
It was
sabotage.
Bring it on, y'all. It's sabotage.
Listen up, y'all. It's a sabotage.
Listen up, y'all. It's sabotage. All right, Chris, you're next because you're the next face I see.
You threw my haggis into the loch, you shite horse's ass.
Yeah. Okay. You sound like space dwarves.
You do. That's true.
That's what I was going for. I mean, yeah.
William, you're next.
Very quietly because apparently I'm being loud and George is asleep.
Oh no.
Hold on.
Dead, probably.
Greatly. George be sleeping. You threw my haggis into the loch, you shite horse's ass.
Very good. That was very. That's like you grabbed him by the neck real and you hold him real close and you're just like
real close.
Throw you into the lock. All right, Alex, you're next.
Oh God! You threw my haggis into the lock, you shite horse's ass.
Okay.
That was so bad.
It was great. It was great.
It's
great.
It's great. All right. You threw my haggis into the lock, you shite horse's arse.
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 The arse.
Damn.
Allison.
I can't
Horse,
do this one.
horse.
Okay. I got to channel
Horse.
Merida from Brave, huh?
Merda.
Merida. If you could change your fate, would you?
Change your feet.
You threw my haggis into the lock, you shite horse's ass.
There we go.
Yeah.
Good.
It sounded
right.
like you channeled a little bit of the lady from the Sweeney Todd. A little bit. A
Oh.
little bit.
HBC.
A little HBC. All right.
We're gonna find out who won after we see
Helena
the
Bonham Carter. I saw her on the Harry Potter reunion.
Aw, how was that? I
Mrs.
didn't watch
Lovett?
that.
I was a little bit too Mrs. Lovett and not enough Merida. That seems right.
Pip says if it's not Scottish, it's crap. All right.
It was good. It was fun.
We need to get back into predictions. Who has another prediction for this coming year?
I think that Total War Warhammer 3 is gonna be Game of the Year.
You know, against Elden Ring.
Yeah, that's his claim. We'll see if he's right.
I'll
It
take
looks-
Elden Ring on the other side of that. That's fine.
I mean, either way, I win. But Warhammer 3 looks really good, man. Like, I mean, it's been 5 years since 2 came out, and they've done a lot. It looks really great.
Yeah, and I will say that they've gotten a lot of. I don't know if it was the same for Warhammer 2, but I feel like Warhammer Star is kind of rising as far as like gaming journalism goes. I've seen a lot of positive press about Warhammer 3, and not that I hadn't seen positive press about Warhammer 2, but like it just seems like more. It seems like more people are paying attention right
It's kind of like Skyrim between after Oblivion. Like, I didn't hear like much about Oblivion when it came out, and then everyone was talking about Skyrim.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So maybe I think the genre is just a little bit like I feel like there's a ceiling there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because not that many people are into like intensely strategic RTSs that are also like not really city games, but like
I mean,
grand strategy in a way.
Of the type of games that it kind of sits in, it's probably the most approachable though.
You think?
Compared to like Civ, or especially against like Crusader Kings, or
Yeah, but
Europa Universalis.
What do you think the install base of Civ is versus Warhammer?
I don't know, man. I mean, Warhammer Stars, like you said, is rising, or Total War Star is rising right now.
100% would agree. I still think
Whereas Civ's
probably
has kind of fallen a little bit, I think.
Yeah, I still think probably twice as many people have installed Civ as have installed Warhammer 2.
Maybe. That's probably true. I don't know.
Anyway,
Ian, you won.
but I digress.
Ian, you won.
Okay.
Oh, and I think that I'm going to say it again. I think hardware at the end of the year is going to be easier to get.
Ooh,
I think supply
you know
lines.
what
I think supply lines are going to get better.
We'll see. Well, now that
I think
teenagers can
I
drive
think that-
trucks, I mean,
I think crypto's going to go down, and I think supply lines are going to get better.
I don't think that's going to happen, and I think because of that, console shortages are going to be the same through this year.
yeah, I would agree with that.
And I think
agree
that's
with that.
I think it's gonna hurt PlayStation in a way. I don't know they're gonna recover from all this, but that's my opinion.
I'm
No,
worried about Sony. Yeah.
I'm
I'm
worried
worried
about
about
Sony.
my graphics
I'm
card
not.
failing.
Like
That'll be
the
fine.
only reason I'm not worried about Sony is international sales and
yeah,
their international fan
they're
base.
fine. They'll be fine. Still
But
a
I don't
$1
know.
billion
I
company.
don't know.
No, Ian, you won according to Rob in the Scottish voice contest.
Oh, Rob!
Yes.
Thank
So,
you.
but you don't have a team, so you have to say who, either Alex, Allison, Dan, or Chris. Who do you want the donation to go to?
Alex, Allison.
No, you have to say
Dan.
it.
Oh, I thought you were gonna just stop with Alex, and then you kept listing names, you asshole.
Oh, I had to
God
think it
damn
through.
it.
This is a big decision. There's a lot
It
resting
is.
on this.
There's a lot riding on this.
There's really not.
I'm gonna give it to Alex. I'm gonna give it to Alex because he's the dreamiest one here.
He's pretty dreamy.
Next,
I'm
to
gonna
Allison.
say. I'm gonna say.
I thought we had something.
Apparently not, though.
The mandatory fund commissioner isn't making a stop this year, so he's not there to beat you up for saying
Oh,
that.
no mandatory.
It's true. See,
fun.
there's no respect for me anymore because MFC isn't here.
I've been told
MFC.
that that at the end of the stream the mandatory fund commissioner might be running a one-page tabletop role-playing game
Ooh,
that we're all going to be playing.
sounds pretty
called
sexy.
Sexy Battle Wizards. So we'll see if that happens. But yeah. What's up? Does anyone else have any predictions? Will, do you have any predictions?
I think I'm gonna have to go back to this year. I swear to God, if we don't have a PlayStation 5 redesign this year, like it doesn't have to be released, but it has to be announced. We cannot be the only household on the planet that looks at that and thinks, not in my fucking living room.
I do.
It looks real
we
dumb.
cannot be the only people who think that.
You don't like your Wi-Fi, your giant Wi-Fi station?
I think
that thing is compensatingly large. It is
It's
ridiculous.
huge. It's huge.
Have you
It's obnoxious.
have you guys been seeing more Teslas driving around? Because I've been seeing a lot more Teslas driving around recently.
Yeah.
And every time I look at a Tesla, I go, that is needlessly stupid looking. Like I look at it and I go, this looks dumb.
Well, it also you
Yeah.
can like have it fart like outside. It has speakers on the outside, so you can have fart sounds play outside.
Yeah. And also if you get
Oh, that's great.
Okay.
and
Is
also
it
if you
great?
get it,
It's great.
You
That's
paid money
great.
for that.
Come on, that's great.
No, it's
And-
stupid.
We
and-
all paid money for yak backs when we were children that we farted into and made the noise.
Yeah, that's
So,
$5,
I don't wanna
not
hear it.
$60,000.
Dude, at some point in my life, I paid for a
Those
Furby.
adults grew up. Those adults grew
true.
up and they still want that yak back, but they'd like it in an expensive car they can show
That's-
their friend.
Yeah, and that also, if that expensive car gets a scratch on it, you have to spend $15,000 to get it repaired because Tesla.
Are
you
you
know?
just making up numbers?
No, I'm not. That's literally like if there's like a dent on one of the side panels because of all the batteries that are in it, it's like a $5,000 repair.
I'm so
It's
with
just
Will,
chock
though.
full
They need
of,
to-
like,
they need to rework
rechargeable
that
batteries.
shiz. It looks awful.
That's what it is.
Just
That's
but,
how
like,
they
I'm just
do it.
thinking like tiny double A's just lining the inside of it.
Have you seen? You watched Top Gear? Do you remember when? The one guy crashed that electric sports car and like broke his leg?
Oh, Richard Hammond?
Hammond?
During the race? Like
Yeah.
at the beginning of the season?
Yeah,
I do remember that, yeah. And it, like,
yeah. That car exploded for 4 days because of all the batteries that were chained up to it, and they kept having
my gosh.
it kept having like a chain reaction. So,
anyways,
yes. Anyway,
I'm glad Richard Hammond's okay.
me too.
That's so
Extreme
glad
tangent.
we went there because like I wouldn't have slept at night not knowing that.
I wouldn't have slept at night without Richard Hammond, so it's fine.
Are any of us really sleeping tonight?
No, actually,
The lion
there's no.
does. The lion
I'm
sleeps
getting a
tonight.
nap.
That's my big hardware prediction.
Yeah.
I really want to say I don't know if I think we would be there if Coven hadn't janked things up. I'm waiting for esports to. I don't know if explode is the right term, but to have more prevalence in like everyday life, and for Joe Schmo sitting in the airport and ESPN or something's on, or the newsreel, it's like, oh, the Falcon Bearcats are facing the Montgomery Biscuits and Counter-Strike Go tonight on a little more prime time. I don't know.
The Falcon Bear.
Am I making sense? I don't have a specific.
Yeah, I mean,
just feel like
you do
that's-
know that on ESPN's page there's an esports section, right?
Yeah, I do, and that's what
Okay.
I'm saying. Like, but I feel like, and granted, I don't have ESPN. I don't have cable.
Do you have ESPN Ocho?
No, I don't. But I feel like we're going to start seeing that more at the forefront and not
Okay.
necessarily as an afterthought.
Like as like another thing, it's going to be more of like, hey, here it's on the front lines.
A little less.
I feel-
oh, bowling's on, nothing's going on, and a little more. Hey, it's esports time. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel like it's.
So
Go ahead.
You go, Righteous.
so absolutely in our chat, she's actually a collegiate esports coach.
Nice.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Throw her
So
on blast.
What?
See all the
definitely-
DMs. She's getting a lot of DMs.
I
now.
100% agree with Will.
What do you coach? What game?
It's probably all of the games if it's college, whatever games they have.
well,
She does Overwatch is a big one that
Okay.
she's
Nice. And like Overwatch has an entire league. Like each a bunch of cities across the country have their own team.
Yeah,
they have
I
their-
don't know
Boston
if
Uprising and stuff like that.
The
Yeah,
Philadelphia
yeah.
Fusion.
the LA Valiant, but I really am not certain that it's the time of esports. And I say that maybe later 2022, but there is a lot of rightfully negative press about Activision Blizzard right now, and they're the ones with the best esports game.
Yeah.
And I
League of Legends?
highly doubt they're going to
I'd
be
say
pressing it
second.
right. Oh, that's
League
true.
and
Second
Dota and Counter-Strike are huge.
Yeah.
I think Overwatch is easy and accessible as far as esports go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But League of Legends, I would argue, is the most popular esport
Yeah,
And
with the most funding,
that's true.
if you wanted to call popularity. Like they have Budweiser ads and stuff now, which is so
Oh
crazy
my
to me
gosh.
from when I used to watch it. Like those kind of deals would have never happened before. And it's wild to watch it now go from like just Game Fuel sponsoring them to sitting through Budweiser commercials, or this is the Budweiser chat break. And I'm just like, what's happening?
Where-
When do you think
That's
we're going to
cool.
get sponsored by Game Fuel?
soon,
Soon, right?
Well, I'd have to sell my soul
I
probably.
don't know.
We could do it.
Yeah, I kind of
I
agree
don't
with
think you'd make that much.
but we'd get Game Fuel.
Oh my god. Oh no.
This is the second time Ian said he hates me this
This has
podcast.
been-
What did I do?
I don't know, but something
Holy
bad
shit.
happened.
I was
don't
about
wanna be in your Dungeons and Dragons group anymore. I'm done. I'm already
Oh
done.
no.
I'm done.
Come
I
back.
I can't take this from a DM.
I was going to say that I agree with Ian, but not for what he just said. For what he said before about how I feel like right now it's kind of weird for esports because they used to be not in the US, but they used to be massive, and I don't know if they're still massive in like Korea and Japan still. And like StarCraft was huge, and StarCraft 2 was pretty big, and like Dota's big, and all these other games. I feel like the US market's really struggling to really bring it up, and that's the reason why HOTS never really went anywhere after a while. Is
Yeah.
because the esports group never really caught onto it.
So is part of that because of COVID? Because they were starting to like do arenas and starting to do these like larger venues with
Well, I
lots
think
of people.
They'd been
showing
doing
up
that
and
for years before that.
I know I totally understand, but the hype wagon for it
Yeah.
was exponentially ramping up
Yes.
to
Oh, yeah.
when COVID happened.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And-
COVID
Like a brick
brought
wall.
it to the forefront. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I think that maybe with that.
I mean,
that
I would
COVID
have expected that not to matter just because you
Oh,
can
it
play
fully
games,
mattered.
but like you can play
It-
games anywhere. Like teams
But
could
it's
still
not-
practice together and they could still play against
Yeah,
each other.
but I totally, absolutely, but I am not a big fan of watching streams.
So what?
Well, okay, so here's the thing. Here's what he's trying
He said on stream.
You want to read?
I said
No,
on
Here's
stream.
what he's
Yeah.
trying
Yeah.
to say in a nutshell is esports have always been there. They've been there for a long time, and League especially. COVID made League on ESPN, right? Like that was because they had nothing else they could play safely. They were streaming League.
Mm-hmm.
The funding for it, advertising wise, is there, but
yeah.
are the viewerships there compared to League? Actually has huge tournaments, worlds. People, those sell out easy, but you can't sell those out now. So the money isn't there like it was for these events because you can't sell tickets, I think is what he's trying to say. And the audience that would go there to watch it in person may not watch on stream.
So that's more of an economic issue, it sounds like. The people that were trying to do that just don't have the money right now because of the
and also travel restrictions. Travel restrictions, like occupancy restrictions,
and like playing over stream, you have to deal with people's internet and people, like there's lots of factors there that are very different from playing in person, like it is at a LAN party. You don't have the problems at a LAN party you have with people at a distance.
The only problem you have is when we ran out of Mountain Dew and Funyuns
and Doritos.
And Doritos.
Yeah,
yes.
Korea is still big with esports.
Korea
in chat. Yeah.
Korea's still big with esports.
We're behind the time.
Also, I couldn't find the esports on ESPN. I went and I looked, couldn't find it.
I don't think it's there anymore because sports are back. So.
Right. So it's a thing of like it was an iron hot thing for the popularity, and now it's just a game of will it stick? I think.
I play that with spaghetti.
We'll just have to see. And I hope that the hype train's still there. I hope people like Budweiser support it just as much as they support football. But we'll see what happens.
I think esports would be better to support than football, to be fair.
Fully agree. There's
less concussions.
That's what I was going to say. Less children get concussions playing esports.
That is true.
No children, because there are kids out there like me. But
I want to do competitive speed Minecraft where you have to like build something in a certain amount of time, and that's the competition. Boom, creativity. And
actually, fun fact: when I worked at PAX one year in the PC LAN area, there was a Minecraft tournament thing.
Nice,
yeah.
Very nice. Are there any other predictions? My prediction is that I will.
I like the lead in. So you can hear him better.
My prediction is that there's going to be way more Legos on this display behind me as the year goes on. So that's my prediction. I really have no video game predictions because I just think it's going to be a good year for video games because there's a lot of real good stuff.
I think February is going to be a great month for video games.
Yes.
My prediction is Lost Ark will be my game of the year, I hope. So we're going to say that. And then
Raiders of the?
No, it's Amazon's other MMO that better be good. Allison needs one. And then my big thing for this year, I think gaming companies are going to lean hard into NFTs. I think that's going to be their hot thing for the year. Their new thing. And I hate it, but I don't think it's going to fail yet. Do I think it's going to fail? Yes.
No, it's going to be pushed so hard.
And they're going to push it so hard this year, but
have you been on Twitter today?
Are silly. And so that's my big prediction for this year. And in general, I think we'll see more. I don't know if it'll happen necessarily as much this year, but in the next few years, I think we're going to see more of what happened to Activision Blizzard. Companies are either going to change and innovate or they're going to be bought out. The end. I think we're going to dwindle a lot of companies down, and it's going to be a lot of big monopolies owning everything, if you will, because these companies that refuse to change or adapt or be better, they're
just going to be
the market decides. The market
going to be like Taco Bell and Demolition Man, you know.
That's all I got. Any more, Alex? I feel like we jumped onto your predictions too hard. Did you have another?
Yeah, since you were vulnerable and threw ideas out there, throw another one out there that we can tear to pieces.
Let us all argue with each other about that.
Also, the reference I made is in the movie Demolition Man. All restaurants are owned by Taco Bell, so everything is Taco Bell. That's what that reference was. Continue. Sorry.
Do you guys have any like goals for this year? Like
wait, Alex.
Alex is thinking. He's got thinking face.
Sorry, my bad.
Look at his hands. That's thinking face.
Praying to the gods of think.
My other gaming prediction for this year is when Breath of the Wild 2 comes out, I will play it.
Okay.
And I probably will not play anything else once that comes out.
I think that's a good prediction.
Nice.
A solid prediction.
I feel good about that one.
I agree. I fully agree.
Also,
feels good on the
I
whole.
think I will put some time in to Banjo-Kazooie N64 Switch.
Nice. I think
You
it's
can
also on
play it
Game Pass.
Game Pass.
I saw that, and I may have to keep that. I may have to pay the $9.99, not just the dollar.
It wasn't
Keep the Game Pass.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's $1, I think, for 3 months.
Yeah.
At least when I
I
signed
think
up.
it'll new prediction. I think Game Pass will increase their price this year. Ooh. I think it'll be 15
maybe.
easy.
I
thought it was already
probably
15. I thought it was already 15 for PC.
Is that
15?
I think it's 15 for the
It's
PC
15
version.
for both. It's 15 if you want PC and console.
Yeah, I don't have
ultimate.
console.
It's
I have that one.
$9.99 for PC. It's $6.99 for console.
It's not like Netflix that increases its price every
I think
year.
they will, though. I think with their new acquisition, they're going to up their price. That's my
I don't
opinion.
think
Their Activision acquisition. No, nothing. Okay.
I would disagree with that because I think they're already making money hand over fist with this. I don't know why they would increase it if they're just going to get more player base.
The value is going to go up.
If they can pay $5, make people pay $5 more for a ton more content, they're totally going to do it.
They will. They will.
And like, I
That's
mean,
my
if they
prediction.
that can
don't
also
know.
allow them to get more content.
That's fine. I still love Phil Spencer, so it's fine. It's okay.
I'm going to predict that Microsoft Game Pass stays at that price.
Okay. You are on handshake.
I'm pretty sure I was the
Say,
last
like,
person to get
250
Game
or
Pass,
something
so
and no problems.
You were.
No, Righteous was the
I
last
was.
person to get Game Pass.
Because I got it at 7:30 last night.
Okay, is that it? We done with our episode?
I wanted to hear people's if anyone had any goals,
like
gaming goals,
resolutions.
Yeah,
gaming
resolutions.
goals?
I'm going to continue to floss every single day.
Gaming.
Do you really floss every
Gaming.
day?
I do. I
you
started
really?
it last year.
Can't you see his gums bleeding?
And my gums look so much better
That's
now.
why they call him Bleeding Gums Righteous.
Bleeding gums, Ratcher.
Oh, I'm so glad I see that.
I'm
That's
gonna
a
be
lot.
honest, I'm not. I don't remember the last time I flossed. I'm not a good.
Gross.
Oh,
brush.
boy.
I also
And
have
I
an
use
electric
mouthwash.
toothbrush now. Because
Me too.
Oh, I
have
love
bleeding
electric
gums.
toothbrush.
Did you get me
Yeah.
too? Did you get
I
the
have an electric.
Did you get the hum?
I do.
Nice.
It buzzes whenever it says go to the next quadrant of your mouth.
Yep. Do
I
you
have the
do you do the
Oral
app?
B spin brush.
I'm
The
sure.
app?
Yeah, there's an app that
No,
I have the
no,
spin
I'm
There's an
not
app for that.
Not that.
I have.
All right.
This
Okay.
This
Anyway,
is another tangent.
we're good at tangents.
It's like a real life game.
Yeah, it is like a real life game.
Every
And
night, it's a little.
Anyone else have any gaming
This
goals?
is idea.
I do.
XP toothbrush. Level up.
You can just use one of those XP apps
GameBrew
on your
toothbrush.
phone.
Ian, do you have one?
Ian, you have a thing to
ahead.
say? Please.
Oh, only if you're done with the toothbrushes, though. I don't want to get in the way.
We're never done with toothbrushes.
No, what I was gonna say is I think what I've been thinking about. So I've been playing Dark Souls 3 again because reasons. And what I've been thinking about when I'm playing it is that what I really should do is just commit to playing games that have some kind of very high review score and nothing else. It doesn't matter how much I like the genre or whatever.
Don't play
High
trash.
review- Don't play trash. Don't play trash.
No garbage. No garbage for you, 2022.
Because I do it all the time.
Think about all the good things you discover that some reviewer doesn't attach a high score to.
I'm with Will.
You love Absolver.
I love.
You sure do love Absolver.
Actually, that's one of the things I'm excited for is Sifu. But
Yeah.
carry on.
Shifu.
Oh, is it Shifu?
Yeah, Shifu.
Sorry.
I would like to see somebody dedicate themselves to only playing one platform for an entire year.
I would not want to do that.
I don't think you would miss those other things.
I'm pretty sure I've done that
Right, just
before.
gonna do it.
That's like
on
whenever I
PC.
look at people who stream just Call of Duty or just Fortnite, and I'm like, how can you do this? How
Because-
can you just play one thing?
Because it makes them money, if I'm being honest. I doubt they
That's
want to.
It's a job.
It just makes them money. So if you stream just one thing or one genre, but mostly one game on Twitch, the algorithm sucks you into that community more and you will get more followers. That's the truth. But I am with Will that I don't like critics, movie critics, gaming critics. I don't believe that everyone has the same opinion as me about games. And often I find I am really, really opposite of what they say. So when it comes to movies or games, I trust no critic. And I'm just going to throw it out there, Ian. I don't know if that's a great thing for you.
Well, I appreciate that feedback, but I feel like, I don't know. I feel like I am like I have this complex where I like bounce from game to game so much, and then I like don't know what I want, and then like someone will say something, be like, "Oh, I want more of that," and then I'll go do that, and then not finish it. So it's like a way to focus. But maybe there are other ways to focus too that I'm not thinking of.
AAA titles this year, good or bad?
Yeah, right.
I'm gonna keep playing Final Fantasy 14 and like get like into it. That's my thing.
Do you think you're going to try to get like into a raid group?
I'm actually part of a free company that I forget the name of right now, so I apologize.
Wow, they must be really into it.
Well, what happened is I was just on like 2 nights ago. The last time I played was 2 nights ago. I've been playing like every night. The last time I played was 2 nights ago, and I was just standing there because I was like on my phone or something, and this guy comes up to me and he starts giving me stuff. And I was like, also, if this happens in real life, don't do this. Only in MMORPGs is this acceptable. But he starts giving me stuff, and I'm like, what's all this? And he's just like, oh, hey, that's a mount. You should activate it. And I was like, oh, thank you. And he was like, oh, and here's some pets. That's nice. You should activate it. I was like, oh, that's really nice. Thank you. And then he was like, are you part of an FC? And I was like, I don't know what that is. What is that? And he was like, it's a free company. It's like a thing where...
What was this guy's name? I feel like I was in the same free company because that's how I got in mine. It's a good recruiting tactic, guys.
It really is.
It sounds creepy. It's like, hey, here's some candy. Do you want to get in my van?
Of candy in a van.
Have you heard of a van? Here it is.
I'll have to bring it up later, and so I can tell you. But it's But it's like a real nice. It's something dragons. It's dragon something, and I can't remember. But it was there, and he was just like, "Yeah, you could join. We're super friendly, and they're all really nice." And it's just like whenever you get on, people's like, "Hey, it's like, oh, hey, hi, what's up? What are you doing?" And they're just kind of talking, and I'm like, I'm just going around questing, just doing my own thing. And like, if I have a question, I can ask it, and they answer. It's really nice.
They were really nice too, and they were all a little too nice and would like follow me around. Okay.
No one's following me, so that's okay.
In MMOs, I like my space. And I usually don't join guilds and stuff until I absolutely have to, because I don't want to interact with human beings other than NPCs. So
that's me.
Those aren't human beings.
That is me as well.
So I do that. I did that as long as I could in WoW, and then I met Carrie and her husband, and they made me join a guild. That was a happy story. But like, that's what I do in every guild situation on every MMO. I play it as long as I can without being involved. But
yep. Same Z's.
But it's nice you get XP boosts and stuff like that too. So.
Yeah. My resolution for this year, I have 2, I think. So I'm trying with a new Clash team, same Clash team, some new people, and we're going to try to play Clash. So we're playing serious, and we're doing like 2 nights a week of practice and things like that. So my goal is to play Clash this year again in League of Legends. And then my second goal is to tidy up my island and make it respectable on Animal Crossing New Hope.
Is it just like a dumpster fire right now? Or?
It is. Like, it's been mid-construction for so long. And then I was watching my favorite streamer, Dispy, Alex, and I was watching her play, and she visited all these islands, and like everybody on her stream, like she was like, I'll visit your island, just tell me. And I was so ashamed of my island, looking at all these people who have put all this effort in. I was like, I gotta clean this shit up. That's my goal this year.
Hannah's island is pretty tight, not gonna lie.
It takes a lot of work.
I have not opened up Animal Crossing since May of last year, so
It's been 2 months for me, and I'm so behind already. It's like only been 2 months.
Oh boy, that's nice though. That's good. It's only been 2 months. You got some time. You can clean it up. It's great. Anyone else things are going to do in the next year?
Yeah, I want to play in more tournaments this year. So I didn't play in a Warhammer tournament until June this year, or in 2021. So I want to try to get to 8 tournaments this year.
Okay.
Yeah. So I did 5 last year.
What do you want to have like?
Yeah, I want to try to get a top 5 at a bigger tournament. I won one tournament this year, but it was a pretty small tournament.
Chris? I expect one thing from you, and that is I would like to have like fancy pictures of your guys all set up in like battle formations and stuff.
Oh, I can do that. Coffee. That one's the LVO. That's like probably 2,000 people playing Warhammer in a tournament. It's intense. I know a couple people going to it, but I don't know. I don't want to go to Las Vegas right now.
Yeah, who does?
And like in general, don't love Las Vegas, but also it's in the middle of a pandemic.
Yeah,
but
are you looking to get COVID? Come on down to Las Vegas. We got it for you.
Listen, I know we've got all these emo bands coming here for this whatever festival that hopefully isn't a scam for all those people who are going. But
nobody could get tickets. Come on.
I don't know.
Also, they have like everyone playing at the same time. It's so dumb.
Apparently, they added a second day.
It's a second day, but it's all the same people again. It's the same thing again.
What?
It's not
that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, you could buy tickets for one day or the other day. They're.
Oh my god!
It's a cash grab. It's scary, and I was kind of willing to put $20 down to see how bad this was going to be, and then decide later if I was going to go. But then I realized it's in Las Vegas, and I don't want to die.
Yeah, so. Who wants to go to Vegas to die? Nobody does.
But there is one in Atlantic City too that's pretty big that I might try to go to.
Yeah, do that. Closer. Atlantic City. But
yeah, I want to keep working on competitive Warhammer.
Yes, and pictures. Fancy artsy photographs of your boys. Like in a full deployment status. That's what I want to see.
I want some like, oh god, what is it called?
Aerial?
Macro, like video photography of you painting your little guys over there in your work desk.
We can do that. It'll
just be an hour of boredom.
We can stream that one day.
You could literally watch paint dry.
We can stream Chris painting one of his miniatures and swearing a lot.
It'll be relaxing.
You can see on this desk there's like a ton of splatter from paint from dry brushing.
I think Chris should do like a Bob Ross, but with his Warhammer figures.
Oh, that would be good.
Happy little chaos signs.
Yeah. Let's give him some blue how hair. He should brush smack. He'd like dip it in the whatever and just
and now whenever you add the blood onto the blade of the Space Marine, you want to make sure that it's nice and wet looking so that you
can really feel the moisture. It just came out of someone.
Yes.
This is devolving into a different kind of stream. Can we wrap up?
Is there anything else that anyone hasn't done anything? Will, did you tell us your thing?
Which one?
Do you have any gaming goals for the next year?
Oh, goals. I just want to continue to be able to play when I have time.
Yeah.
That's a good dad goal.
I've got a goal for you. I want your son to play a video game.
He's already a year old.
He can't use his digits independently.
In December, he'll be like almost 2 years old.
Okay, so
wait, I'm so sorry for what you walked into.
I will I'll see if I can train him to do like, I don't know, some joystick game.
Yeah.
Get him one of those little like bubble poppers like you do with your cat.
Dance Dance Revolution.
Yeah.
Just hold him over the pad and just
I let him go to town.
It's like shaken baby syndrome. No, Dance Dance Revolution baby syndrome.
Coffee says he can play StarCraft too.
That's about the age you start that, right?
Yeah, you have to.
That's when Fee started.
It's true.
Him on Dark Souls and go ahead and teach him profanity.
He just popped out. He popped out of the womb and started playing video games. That's how he got so good.
Oh boy. Well, I think with that, we're gonna end the podcast portion of the 24-hour stream. So with that, we're gonna say the thing that we say at the end of our podcast every time. Say good night, everybody.
Oh, good night, everybody.
But it's not a good night. It's going to be